Here. So SBF did finally get arrested in the Bahamas. It is amazing news. And somehow, even in all of that, this headline still finds a way to suck his dick a bit. How effective altruism let Sam Bankman-Fried and the FTX collapse happen. They're still calling this fucking fraud altruistic. It is despicable. Absolutely despicable. Even still, right now. Crazy. It's just crazy. But yeah, he got arrested in the Bahamas. And with any luck, he will be facing some very extreme charges. I don't see how he wiggles his way out of it. It really feels like this will finally be some justice served. And you know what? I'm going to give full credit to this to CoffeeZilla. CoffeeZilla got him to just point blank admit to fraud during his fucking interview. Something that no one else was able to do, even though it was still clearly a case of fraud even without the interview, if they just did any amount of investigation whatsoever. But I'm just going to say the timing is too convenient. CoffeeZilla caught him. These are some masculine, golden ant, jolly, pimp, and playghoul. Make ChatGPT write an article about this. That's actually a great idea. I'm going to imagine at this point Sam Bankman-Fried is really regretting all of those interviews he's been doing. I bet he is really kicking sand like, damn, maybe I should have stopped doing Twitter Q&As where I just actually admit to crimes. Who could have expected this result? Here's the prime germs and the resub Adonis and Shelliot. Why didn't he just lie low? Bro, I have no idea why he didn't just lie low. He was just so addicted to the meat swallowing. Like in the crypto space, when you have a crypto project it doesn't even have to be successful. You have your cock handled by crypto bros 24/7. They fight for you on Twitter. They run all of your marketing for you for free. And I'm just assuming he was used to that kind of attention. He wanted to continue to be looked at like this god that the crypto community treated him like. So, when he fell out of the good graces, he did everything possible to still try and salvage his image. And that led to this. Well, it didn't lead to this, but it was probably a factor. Thanks to resub Isaac, Fireground, Orange, and Phil. Yeah, I'm gonna try High on Life tonight in just a little while. I do wonder, and I didn't read this in the other article I read about it. Granted, it wasn't this article. I do wonder if they're going to go after his girlfriend, the 28-year-old Harry Potter fan, potential big meth head. Thanks to the resub, Saul. Because she's far from innocent in this. Very far from innocent. He's the prime guy with hat. What did she do to get labeled as a Harry Potter fan? I don't know. So when they were still writing all those fluff pieces after everything came collapsing, or actually it might have been before, I don't remember the timeline now. They're writing articles about her, calling her like, look at this 28-year-old Harry Potter fan who's managing billions here. Wow, it's absolutely incredible. And then she'd be doing these interviews where she just doesn't know what she's talking about. So now that's become her legacy. She's the 28-year-old Harry Potter fan. Very quirky. Thanks to the resub. Always in the Prime Tico. And resub Holiday and Seme in the Prime Angelic. And the gift sub Terrapin. Why do we think she's a meth head? Oh, it was just like one random tweet. I actually, I don't think she's like an actual meth head. Maybe. I mean, she could be. But there was just like a single tweet she made, like alluding to using meth or something. I'm actually a little foggy on the details. There's the resub Whisker and Colas. Does Atrioc talk about it? Here, let me watch Big A's new video on it. I bet Atrioc is celebrating so fucking hard. He has been doing such a great job with this story from the very beginning. I bet Atrioc's wiggling his finger right now.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that looks
there's
about
only
right.
Two things on God's green earth that could make a man dressed in an ironic FTX hat and ironic Lehman Brothers shirt be this happy. To feel like Christmas has come early in December. Number one would be losing my virginity, but thank God that has not happened. Number two would be the arrest and hopeful imprisonment of Sam Bankman-Fried. As of 1 hour ago,
let's go.
This notorious fraudster who we've been covering on this channel for weeks, who evaporated $32 billion of value and $8 billion of customer funds missing, has been arrested in the Bahamas and is facing extradition to the United States. And if we can get him on U.S. soil, we can make him testify for his crimes and hopefully face a very, very, very serious amount of jail time for stealing and defrauding millions of customers.
So I'm going to say I didn't think we'd get here. I was losing so much faith in an actual set of consequences for Sam Bankman-Fried. I am absolutely shocked. I really didn't think we'd be able to get him. It didn't seem like they even cared. This man was still booking interviews with the biggest outlets imaginable. And they were still writing pieces about him being like a hero who had some unavoidable catastrophe happen unjustly. I just didn't think it happened. I really didn't. I was losing faith. But then we brought it back, baby. And now we have a potential good conclusion to this anime arc for Sam Bankman-Fried. And that FTX hat that Big A's wearing is fire. That's looking good here. Thanks to the resub Toxic and Treacherous.
Happened only an hour ago, so it's a pretty fresh story, but I want to sort of go through it with you now. So the indictment for what he's actually being charged with will be unsealed tomorrow. That's Tuesday. But a person close to the matter has revealed, according to this New York Times article, that the charges include wire fraud conspiracy, securities fraud conspiracy, and money laundering. He got hit with the quintuple whammy. And the thing is,
sir,
I've
the
read
five
a lot
fingers.
of articles like this one for the past month now. Why hasn't Sam Bankman-Fried been arrested yet? Because I've been obsessed with this story, especially because he's been on a notorious PR tour for the past month, going around to every media outlet that'll have him and saying, "Oops, I fucked up." And in every one of these interviews, anytime someone asks him a hard question, it becomes very, very obvious that he committed fraud. He's basically been openly admitting to many, many crimes on camera, on tape, which has made his lawyers furious. My lawyers chewed me the fuck out for saying I fucked up. The first thing he said after that was, they said, "Sam, we have only one thing to tell you. You have to promise to never, ever say you fucked up again." I told them to go fuck themselves.
What a hero.
Well, you might want to have listened to him, Sam, because it is looking extremely likely that a lot of that's going to come back to haunt you.
The thing is, like, I said this when we were talking about the CoffeeZilla interview. His defense has been, this entire time, I'm just an idiot. I'm so stupid, man. I'm so sorry for all of these mistakes. I'm just dumb. I'm just this absolute brain-dead troglodyte, and, you know, I'm just a dummy. And that was his whole defense. Like, you can't arrest me. I'm stupid. Like, that's been the entire time. And it's been working. Like, it's actually been fucking working. I really didn't think they would arrest him because, like, they weren't even bothering to try. Until today, which is great. Which is fucking great. But yeah, I have to imagine his lawyers have not been happy with the way he's been conducting himself in terms of defense. And like the open admittance to fraud with CoffeeZilla. That certainly didn't help. I do think CoffeeZilla's interview will actually be cited in court. It has to be usable, right? Like, that's not... Like, that wouldn't be something that they could keep out. Like, I feel like that'd be a good piece of evidence. Or is shit like that not, like, usable in court? I don't really know the law. Does anyone here know? Because CoffeeZilla is a journalist. He spoke to a journalist. Like, I feel like that's got to be something usable.
It doesn't help that when he declared bankruptcy, FTX was turned over to John J. Ray, the former person who did the Enron bankruptcy. Never in my career have I seen such an utter failure of corporate controls at every level of an organization.
That was such a harsh, scathing
From the
review.
lack of financial statements to a complete failure of any internal controls or governance whatsoever. He is testifying tomorrow, and somehow they leaked his statement. I went through it.
What?
There's a lot to say here, but basically the main things is there are many things unknown at this stage, and many questions remain. We know the following. First, customer assets from FTX.com were commingled with assets from the Alameda trading platform. Again, already
we knew that
should be illegal. Second, Alameda used client funds to engage in margin trading.
We knew that.
Extremely risky
Now it's proven
debt-fueled
nice.
trading. So taking your money that you deposited in a bank to be held safely and then punting it on incredibly risky crypto bets without your knowledge or consent. Again, illegal. And
This is really cool, because this is exactly what CoffeeZilla called him out on to his face. Directly to him, where SBF kind of had his armor dented and just, like, admitted it. Like, straight admitted it to CoffeeZilla. Those, like, 2 points in particular. And now we have the Enron guy, assuming this is his real statement, I imagine it is. We have the Enron guy echoing that, which is wonderful. Thanks to the resub. Shira, Tags, Celestial, Galaxy, Mel, Dove, and the 5 gift subs Ro. Thanks for that, Ro. The Prime Vial. They also forgot a charge for sucking ass at League. Well, we haven't finished all the charges yet. They're not all unveiled. So that could still be tacked on there for being hard stuck Bronze 3. Thanks to the 5 gift subs, Scarcore. Thank you for that, man. In the Prime match. Check CoffeeZilla's community tab. Oh, did he post something in the community tab? It's gotta be him, like, taking a shot or something. Like, maybe just pumping his fist saying, I told you so. Or, like, I did it. He should absolutely be taking some credit. Oh, no, he's just hyping up the video for tomorrow. Fuck yeah. Nice. I thought this was gonna be a picture of him just maybe doing a little TikTok dance or something to celebrate. And thanks to the 5 gift subs, Treacherous. And the resub, Party City. The bits. Heck.
again, very...
Do you think he'll actually see any jail time? Also, people are sending warnings of nudity on High in Life. Well, there can be nudity in a game, it's fine. It's not like a banned game on Twitch. It shouldn't be a problem. Do I think he'll see any jail time? Yes. I was skeptic. I started to lose faith that he'd actually be arrested, but now that he is, those charges are huge. I just don't know how he could possibly weasel his way out. If he had just shut the fuck up, like if after all of this happened, if he had just gone dark, off grid, you know, have his mommy and daddy buy him a farm somewhere in the middle of fucking nowhere, no electricity, live like an Amish person for a while, I think he may have been able to squeak his way out. I think maybe. But he has been so open with this shit for the last month and a half. I can't imagine a world where he could, you know, squeak a little stinker out of there and not face jail time. He was too addicted to clout. Thanks to the Prime. Crazy, Concilian, and the resub, Garnome, Burke, and the 2 gift subs, Fiend. He's gonna call Saul. Yeah, I mean, anyone shy of Saul he's fucked. His parent, yeah, chat's right, his parents are compliance lawyers, but I don't think that means they can somehow save their son here. Like, that's kind of useless at this stage of the game. I don't see how them being compliance lawyers is in any way going to be helpful to getting him out of these charges. No, I'm sure they would. I mean, it's their son. I'm sure they would try to, like, save him from, like, going to jail, but I just don't think they have the ability to. Nobody does.
unlikely that Sam Bankman-Fried didn't know this was happening in the same building that he was having sex with other people in. Very likely. It also mentions first that the FTX group went on a spending binge in late 2021 through 2022, during which they spent $5 billion on a myriad of businesses and investments, many of which may be worth only a fraction of what they paid. They were also just idiots, okay?
Yeah.
They also took billions of dollars of customer money and punted it on either bad business investments, buying Miami Heat naming rights, buying TSM naming rights, buying Super Bowl commercials, buying Giselle and Tom Brady and basically ruining their marriage, probably buying Kevin O'Leary, the shark, to say nice things about him. Basically, they punted money on a million bad things with no near-term or long-term plan to get that money back. No solid business investment. So again, you cannot take customer money and use it for those things. It looks like he's going down. Now, the fact that he's going down leads me to my next topic, which is what I'm a little bit nervous about. Again, I am no conspiracy nut, but being a crypto billionaire, former or otherwise, is...
He's going to... I'll brief... Well, he'll probably give the context. There was a crypto billionaire recently who turned up dead after making a... I don't know if it was one post or a series of posts alluding to the fact that some very dangerous people were after him. That was some pretty shady shit. That was a pretty creepy thing. That happened only a few days ago. And apparently that was one of only like 2 or 3 or maybe even more crypto billionaires that have turned up dead recently. So it is like that is a pretty scary set of circumstances. Yeah, it's like actually getting Epsteined. Except this one was just blatant murder. Like, I believe the most recent crypto billionaire was, like, his body was found at the sea. Like, it washed up on shore. Let me double check. I don't exactly remember. What was his name? Well, actually, let me just let Big A talk about it. I already know he's going to talk about it here. He's a recent David Rat and the Bittigan J. 120-year sentence would be pretty nice to hear.
It's not
for
the
him.
safest occupation nowadays. Mr. Koolander here died at 30 a few days ago. This guy, Mushigan, Nikolai Mushigan, 29, died a few days ago. Yeah, Taran. So a Russian crypto tycoon, he died in a helicopter accident. Now again, all of these seem to have innocent explanations, but 3 of them dying within a few days of each other, all in the crypto space, is odd.
Yeah, it is peculiar. I would say the one with the paranoid tweets isn't exactly like the most innocent explanation. Let me double check. Which one was that? What was his actual name? Nikolai. Okay. Death of Crypto King Nikolai Mushkian fuels conspiracy. Here, let me pull up his tweet. Do they have his tweet here? No. Where is it? Wow, a lot of these outlets aren't even bringing up... Oh, here it is, here it is, here it is. Okay, so he tweeted this. Yes. I think it was like a day or two before his death. Let's see. Right before Nikolai passed away, he tweeted some suspicious conspiracies surrounding the government on October 28th. Okay, so not that soon. Tweeted that the CIA and Mossad and some pedophile-related organizations noted as the pedo elite are running some kind of sex trafficking and blackmailing business from Puerto Rico and the Caribbean islands. And then he said that they're going to frame him with a laptop planted by his ex-girlfriend who was a spy, and they will torture him to death. So that does read like somebody that's a bit paranoid, but he actually did turn up dead in Puerto Rico not long after. Previously, he's mentioned fighting some evil people who use debt and blackmail as weapons and claimed that he shall be murdered under the disguise of suicide by the FBI. It is very strange. The cause of death is just drowning, right? He left his beach house located in the posh locality Condad of San Juan for a morning walk. His estate is estimated to be $6 million. Later in the morning at around 9 a.m., some local surfers discovered his body at a Puerto Rico beach. They reported it to the police, and his identity was confirmed. They mentioned the beach is famous among surfers, although Nikolai was not known to be inclined towards surfing. They also noted that it's dangerous due to swift currents and rocks, and signboards are warning to be safe, but they're speculated to have broken due to the typhoon. So, a bit odd. But yeah, his tweets actually do read like someone that's probably got some kind of mental illness, but he really did turn up dead here. So, maybe he really was being hunted. That's the conspiracy. It is weird. It is weird. Especially since it's already the third crypto billionaire death in a short period of time. Thanks for resub Scuffed and Gabe. Have they ruled out a possible suicide? There hasn't been an update to this in the last few days that I've seen. Like, this was already like a month ago now, and I haven't seen any further updates on it. Like, the most recent article is from November 10th. So it's not something that has a whole lot of active investigation around it that's being relayed to the public. Thanks to Tier 1 Lazarus and the resub Tarnished, Hidden, and Bubbling.
A few days ago. Yeah, Taran. So, a Russian crypto tycoon, he died in a helicopter accident. Now, again, all of these seem to have innocent explanations, but 3 of them dying within a few days of each other, all in the crypto space, is odd. And Sam Bankman-Fried was a extremely connected, heavily political donating. The money trail for all of the money that he punted and distributed into the U.S. government is extensive.
Yeah,
and so the fact that he's being arrested is amazing. And the next step that we should all keep our eye on this story and keep public pressure and keep attention on is that we want to see him testify. We want to hear more about what was going on at this company and who else was complicit, because this is fraud that stinks to the top. And we don't want
I can assure you, the 28-year-old Harry Potter fan is all but innocent in this. I'm shocked that, well, they must not have found a paper trail for her yet. I'm shocked that she's not already in their net. So I speculate that during the trial, she gets roped into all of this. He's not making it to trial. That's getting deep in the weeds. I just can't imagine what he would have on people that they'd want to shut him up for. Like, this is very much just a case of a guy defrauding a bunch of people. Like, I don't think he had, like, a ton of info. He donated to both political parties for, like, I guess, the immunity that he thought he'd gain from it. I just can't imagine he's got, like, a lot of dirt. Now, maybe through the money laundering. Yeah, maybe with the money laundering, he's got some really, really shady connections. That's super possible. But I just don't think that would go that high up the ladder. But I could be wrong. I really could be wrong, of course. These are the Prime Floops and the resub Kales and Exian and Facility and Xbox and Books. The Prime chip.
want to see this guy end up somehow dying in jail. Okay, that is conspiracy or not. I don't want to see this guy just suddenly disappear and not get a chance to speak, and for prosecutors to get information out of him. That's the next step. That's what we're hoping to see. Again, regardless, I'm actually extremely pleased at how fast regulators have moved, given that what they had to build, the case they had to build, given the fact he was hiding in the Bahamas, given the fact that I'd go through all that. I'm actually, this is a very happy day for me because I followed this story very closely, and
it is a great day.
Flout the fact that he has just ignored the law, ignored any sense of decency, ignored, any protocols or of good business sense, and just jump around interview to interview. It's amazing. It's awesome to see him arrested, and I'll be following up this story consistently. You can tune in on my Twitch channel, check out more, and watch out for more YouTube videos. Thanks guys for watching, and let's keep an eye on this.
Yeah, Big A's been doing such an amazing job covering this entire saga of SBF and FTX. I don't really know what the speed of movement is on a case this big. Maybe this is quick by other standards, but to me it felt remarkably slow. And maybe that's just because of how painful the journey was to get here, with all of the major news outlets treating it like he wasn't a fraud. So maybe that's why it felt so long to me. I don't know. Thanks to the resub, Polar Bear, Bean, and Yav. Yeah, most people are saying this was super fast. So yeah, it really must have just been all of the news outlets that really made me feel like this was a not only not coming, but also excruciatingly long. Thanks to the resub, Prune. Thanks to the resub, Milan. And the resub, Maged and Happy. Going to trial takes 1 to 2 years. Yeah, I think the trial's going to be quite a long time down the road, but the Enron guy is making a statement tomorrow, right?